welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be listening to Kaylor tell us a case. So, like she said to me last week, this video is sponsored by Kaylor.
I don't know why I said that.
That was so funny.
I was just like, right off the head.
That was hilarious.
Okay, before we start this video, I just want to give a little warning. In this video, I'm going to be talking about shooting, stabbing, and like just a small little mention of SA. So if none of this really floats your goat, just go watch
Do goats float?
Okay, everybody says what floats your boat. All boats float. Goats don't float.
No, they don't.
So you have to figure out how to float your goat.
Okay.
So that's what I say. Float your goat. Because all boats float. Well, some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them crash and burn. Anywho, so we're going to be talking about, this is kind of funny because we literally just ate fast food. We ate Wendy's. But
not sponsored.
Not sponsored, yeah. Sponsor us, Wendy's. We love this chicken. But we're going to be talking about the fast food killer, a.k.a. Paul Dennis Reid Jr.
I've never heard of this.
You never heard of it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. See, when I found the story, I was like, okay, fast food killer. I thought that he was like worked at a fast food place and he was like killing people with the food or whatever. No, I don't. I'm like, okay. And then when I was doing research, I was like, oh, that's why he's called that. But anyways,
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you hear a little whining in the background, that's my dog. Because we have put them in their kennels because all they do the whole time we're recording is walk around and all you hear is click, 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 click. So she's mad because I put her up.
Morgan.
So, anywho.
But when I was doing the research on him, it was so hard to try to find anything about his past life. Like anytime you looked him up, it was all just about what he did. So I had to do some really deep diving. So I'm not really 100% sure if what this is about his life before his crimes is 100% true. But I do know that he did have siblings and stuff, so I know that part was right. But take this with a grain of salt. This is some information I found about his life. But Paul Dennis Reid Jr. was born November 12th, 1957 in Richland Hills, Texas. He was the youngest of three siblings. I was going to be like sisters. I know he has a sister. I don't know about the other ones. He lived primarily with his paternal grandmother. But throughout his childhood, he was like a troubled kid, apparently. Apparently, he set his grandmother's bed on fire with her in the bed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So with that, he got sent to live in a boys' home.
I was going to say, like, dude, did they think anything was wrong? They tried to burn his grandma up.
Yeah, so...
But yeah, I guess they did.
He got sent to live in the boys' home in Houston. And apparently in school, he had a severe learning disability, which I'm right there with him. I have a learning disability. Cool, great, awesome. It's so much fun. But his was like, I guess, worse than what mine was, or still is. I mean, it's kind of gotten better as I got older. But with that, the school just really didn't know how to handle that kind of stuff. So with the lack of support and attention and everything for his learning disability, he really didn't get far in school. So he just eventually dropped out of school. And by the age of 16, he was on his own. Paul was all on his own, with little education and even fewer morals. So he became a full-time criminal. He racked up several of women accused him of SA, but none of the charges were ever brought to him. But he was arrested for grand theft auto, in which he received 3 years of probation for. So he was out there stealing them rides. Anyways, in April of 1984, he was sentenced to 20 years at the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for robbing 4 restaurants and a hardware store. Paul only served 7 of the 20 years. So I guess good thing, good behavior. Good behavior. I almost said good deed, but that's not right. But he ended up receiving a $20,000 settlement from a car accident. And he decided with that money he's going to start a fresh new life and everything. So he bought himself a guitar and decided to pursue his long life dream of becoming a musician, a country artist.
Like, you know that 1% of people that actually set out to do that make it.
No, no.
1%.
In September of 1995, he moved to Nashville, Tennessee, the country music capital.
Nash Vegas.
Nash Vegas. Love Nashville. So much fun. I think the last time we went to Nashville was... I think we went to go see Justin Timberlake.
We did. We went and saw Justin Timberlake, like, what is that, 11 years ago?
Yeah. So it's been a while since I've been to Nashville.
Been a minute.
So much fun. If you have never been to Nashville, go to Nashville. It's so much fun.
It is fun.
If you're a bar crawly person, the place to be. It's, oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
I mean, I've never done that. I don't know. I've never went.
No, because every time I went, I wasn't of age.
We went for concerts or, you know, something like that.
I went for a hair show one year. So with the little bit of money he had, he got a professional that's what it's called,
Like a
headshot, and a demo tape done, and he rebranded himself as Justin Parks.
All right.
Who goes from Paul to Justin? Who knows? But
I mean, let's be honest. Justin Park sounds better than Paul.
Yeah, that's true. Hi, I'm Paul. If anybody out there, millennials, know what that's from, kudos to you. You're so cool. But Paul, he managed to get a couple of gigs here and there at, like, I guess bars and everything. But, you know, it wasn't what he thought it was going to be.
Yeah, of course
he didn't think that, you know, he's just going to go out there and he's instantly going to become famous. Yeah. So, plus, he apparently had the looks of a country artist, but no talent. So, apparently he sucked. Whatever.
Well, so he didn't have any friends around him to go, dude, you know.
Yeah. I'd be like, dude, you suck.
Yeah.
So, with the settlement money gone from the car accident and his music career not taking off and it's just kind of a dead end, he was forced to go work as a cook at a local Shoney's. If anybody doesn't know what a Shoney's is, I don't know if it's just a southern thing, a Shoney's.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a restaurant, of course. They have a bar and they have like a bar like you can get food off of and
like a hot bar.
Yeah, hot bar and like menu stuff. I grew up eating Shoney's. We still have some around here, but I grew up eating Shoney's.
I don't like it.
It's okay. It's just a childhood food for me. Okay. So he needed more money. He's not making enough money at Shoney's, and all that money's gone from his everything. So he goes back to what he knew and everything, which was robbing, armed robbery. So he apparently bought a gun, and he set out to go rob again. So the first place that he did was Captain D's. If anybody doesn't know what a Captain D's is too, because I don't know where they're all located, Captain D's is a fast food seafood restaurant. Mm-hmm. I grew up eating that too. Every Sunday after church, when I went to church, every Sunday we would go eat Captain D's. It's okay. I never ate the fish. I always got the chicken strips because I'm a child. But
I think I've eaten there like once, and I was like, I gotta eat Captain D's.
I mean, it's, like I said, it's a fast food.
Yeah.
It's like frozen fish sticks.
I mean, let's be honest. Fast food now is really not that great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
No. So on February 16th, 1997, oh my gosh, you would think being from Tennessee, I would know this name, how to say it. Donaldson, I don't know, whatever.
What does it say? Let me see. Donaldson.
I don't know. Let me tell you, Tennessee's got some weird names for counties and stuff. So Donaldson, Tennessee. Stephen Hampton, which is 25, and Sarah Jackson, that was 16 years old, was preparing to open for their Sunday morning rush at Captain D's. Like I said, after church.
A lot of people go to church and eat Captain D's.
Yeah, like we did when I was growing up. Like it was church, we went straight to Captain D's and ate. So they were preparing and everything, prepping for that. They heard a knock on the front door. So Steve went and opened the door, and a large man was standing there with a friendly smile on his face, and he had apparently a job application in his hand. Paul continued to smile as he pulled out his gun, and he pointed it at Steve, and he cleared with that. He robbed the place, cleared out the safe, the drawers, everything. I mean, he took everything, like cash money, like dollar bills, paper money, coins. He took everything. And then he forced Steve and Sarah into the walk-in cooler and shot and killed them execution style.
Oh my gosh.
So he made them lay down and he shot and killed them. Yeah. So with about $7,000, and he apparently went and took the surveillance tapes too out of the manager's office. I guess that's where it's kept. I don't know. I've never worked fast food.
Okay. You're going to rob a fast food joint. And, you know, these people are clearly like doing what you're telling them to. You clear out everything. And you take the tapes. Why do you need to kill them?
I know.
You know, okay, so lock them in the cooler and leave. Mm-hmm. Like, somebody will find them. Like, there's no need to kill them. Like,
Yeah.
You got the tapes, you got the money. Like, ugh.
So, I mean, why? I mean, I guess some of the times you don't think that these people take, like, surveillance tapes, too. So he's a little bit smart on that. But he did that, and he just walked out of the Captain D's, just took money, pew, pew, peace out.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what? And apparently, also, he used that money to buy a car or something. That's what I read, that he used some of the money to put, I guess, down payment on a car or whatever. And also, there was several eyewitnesses that saw him, and they got a sketch of him. And, you know, the police put it out, but there was just no leads with it and everything. So, after that, he's still working at Shoney's, but on February 27th, 1997, apparently he had temper problems, anger problems, and lost his cool.
Think?
Yeah. He's just walking into a daggone Captain D's and he's like, give me your money. Oh, also, pew,
It's
pew.
not more than anger problem.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, that girl was 16.
Yeah, that's awful.
16-year-old girl, bless her heart. But he apparently lost his temper, and he threw a plate at a co-worker, and he was fired and escorted out of the building. And he had burned through all the money he stole from the Captain D's robbery, and he needed more money, and what's another way you can get money? Robbing again. So with that, on March 23rd, 1997, he walked up to a good old McDonald's. Now, if you don't know what McDonald's is, I'm just kidding.
No.
Everybody knows what McDonald's is. So,
Funny.
I'm funny today. So, 4 of the employees were closing up McDonald's after a busy Sunday. Ronald Santiago, 27, Andrea Brown, 17, Robert Sewell, 23, and Jose Gonzalez. I don't know the age of Jose. It didn't say. They were walking out of the building. I guess they closed up and everything, and they were all leaving, where they were immediately pushed back in by a large man, aka Paul. He had a gun too. Paul took all the employees back in the back of the restaurant where the safe was, and he got them to open the safe, and he stuffed his bag with over $2,000. He then forced all the people into the storage room, and that's when he began shooting. Everybody was laying dead, or they were dying. You know, some people instantly killed, and some were just kind of like laying there dying. Bless their hearts. He aimed the gun to Jose, and he went to pull the trigger, and the gun actually jammed. So with that, Jose attacked him, but I read 2 things, that either Paul had a knife on him, or he grabbed a knife that was around out there and started stabbing Jose. So with that, he stabbed him 17 times. He stabbed Jose 17 times, and Jose, smart kid, I guess he was a kid, I don't know, smart guy, laid there and pretended to be dead.
I've heard that happen a lot. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of things I've read and, you know, watched where people will pretend, so they'll leave and then get up and try to get help.
That's why there's a lot of people talking about, there's a little warning right here, school shootings. A lot of them, you know, the parents nowadays are teaching their kids how to literally play dead.
That's so sad.
I know. That's
So
horrible. Like, oh my gosh, I never had to worry about that when I was.
I mean, you get so nervous when you send your kid to school anymore. And, you know, you used to, like, of course, I'm old, but, like, when I was in school in the 80s, like, that's the second safest place besides home. You know, and now it's not. You can't even go to school. It's crazy.
So Jose played dead until he left, till Paul left, but Paul also took the surveillance tapes with him too. And he ran whatever. Jose got up, he crawled or whatever and called 911. He was rushed to the hospital. He actually survived and everything. And, excuse me. And he actually later on testified against Paul in court.
Awesome.
So, yay for him. Awesome, cool dude. At this point, they didn't really, like, the police didn't really think that the two were connected in a way. I don't
They never do. I don't know what.
What are you guys doing with your life? Like,
Yeah.
so, but they knew that they had somebody out there. And now Paul is considered a serial killer because I think it's if you kill
More than two. Yes.
yeah. So he's killed now, what, four,
Like
five?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they dubbed him as the fast food killer. And everything, blah, 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 blah. So his third place that he decided he needed more money than everything, because nowadays, well, back then too, you can't live without money. He robbed a Baskin Robbins. I love Baskin Robbins. Do you like Baskin Robbins?
Not really.
Okay. My aunt and uncle owned a Baskin Robbins, and I used to get free ice cream. My favorite was the gumball ice cream. It had little, like, what are those, chiclets?
That would be one of your favorite ice cream.
That was my favorite. It still is. If I ever see it, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I loved it. So, in April 23rd of 1997, that's close to your birthday.
It is.
Goodness. Old ass lady.
I'm old.
So, in Clarksville, Tennessee, the Baskin Robbins, he robbed the Baskin Robbins. They were ready to close up for the night. So apparently he's doing this all at night, except for the Captain D's. He did it in the morning. I don't know why he switched up for nights or whatever. Weird dude. I mean, I don't think he really had.
Well, there's always whys. I mean,
Yeah.
and stuff like this. Who knows? I mean,
I just don't understand, like you said, like the whole killing part of it. Like,
Yeah.
just rob the place and leave.
yeah.
Like, you don't need to be, like, killing them. Whatever. So, Angie Holmes, 21, and Michelle Mace, 16, they were walking out the back of the door, ready to head home, when a man approached and shoved them back inside. With the gun pointed at them, Paul directed Angie and Michelle to lead him to the safe. He took the cash and everything, but he changed it up this time. He actually kidnapped both of them and put them in the car, and he drove them out to Dunbar Cave State Park, just a few miles away from the Baskin Robbins where they were at. He forced them out of the car, and then Paul, apparently, there's two things. He stabbed them, and he slit their throat. So, their bodies were found the next morning by a man walking their dog. With that, they kind of then were like, okay, something's going on. Like, we need to figure out what's going on. That's when they started connecting that, okay, yeah, all of them are connecting. Like, he is the fast food killer. But they really didn't have much evidence or anything with him to, like, put him as the main person. Until a major break came in the case just a few weeks later. So, on June 1st of 1997, Mitch Roberts, 45, he was spending a relaxing Sunday evening Sunday night around 9 p.m. with his family when a knock on the door. He opens the door and there's Paul standing there. Now, Mitch was Paul's manager at Shoney's. So Paul was begging him to give him his job back. And Mitch just refused and everything. And then Paul whipped out a gun and handcuffs, and he demanded that Mitch put on the handcuffs and get in the car. Mitch turned around and ran back inside his house and barricaded his family inside. With that, Paul was eventually arrested and taken into custody. During the questioning, police began to realize that Paul was the fast food killer. With that, apparently they found fingerprints on with his past criminal history when he got arrested back when he lived in Texas. His fingerprints matched up. It was in the database, and they matched up with some of the finger evidence they found at some of the crime scenes and everything. So they arrested him for that. And he received, with the trial, there really wasn't much about the trial. Like, I just knew that the guy that survived, Jose, he testified and everything. He actually identified him as a killer, apparently in a lineup and everything. But there really wasn't much about the trial, all of it. The only thing that we know is that he did receive 7 counts of first-degree murder across 3 trials. So they had to pull people and juries in from West Tennessee and East Tennessee. So this all happened like in Nashville. So West Tennessee is like Memphis area. Middle Tennessee is like Nashville. And East Tennessee is like, Knoxville, sort of like UT and everything. And then ETSU, East Tennessee, whatever. That's Johnson City. Mm-hmm. So they had to pull people from East and West because of the media that was going on in Middle Tennessee with this whole thing that if they had juries there, they would know because it's all over TV.
Right.
So they had to pull from those 2 parts of Tennessee to make a juror. The Captain D's murder, Steve Hampton's driver's license, and a video rental card, which I think is Blockbuster. That's what I think. Yeah. It didn't say, but I was like, the only thing I could think of was Blockbuster. Man, I miss
doing that. That was one of the, like going to Blockbuster and picking out movies for like the next week or so to watch. That was always fun as a kid.
Dude, do you know what I miss about Blockbuster? The smell.
Oh, they all had a smell. They all had a smell.
If anybody out there knows, if there's like a perfume or like a body spray that smells like a Blockbuster, hit me up.
It's like, ooh, you smell good. What you wearing, Blockbuster?
Hey, baby, you smell good. What you got on? Got that on that Blockbuster. Oh, I love the smell of it.
That's hilarious.
It was like that carpety, be kind, rewind.
Yeah.
Oh, golly, it smells so good.
That's so funny.
Oh, I wish I could smell it right now. But apparently, they found the driver's license and that rental card, Blockbuster, I'm going to call it Blockbuster, rental card, at some parkway in Tennessee, and it had Paul's fingerprints all over it. So they were like, okay, well, you're connected to that one. Mm-hmm. So he was convinced of 2 counts of first-degree murder on that one. And the Baskin-Robbins one, they found forensic evidence in his car, because they, impounded his car and took his car, and they found forensic evidence of the girls that were in there, and they apparently found a credit card gasoline purchase near the location of where the bodies were found, and they placed him at the scene. Oh, I heard that pop.
Did you hear my pop?
I did. I was sitting there and it was like kind of like 40-ish miles away from his home too. So, I mean, everything was kind of, in a way, he really wasn't kind of doing a really good job at it. Mm-mm. So,
where was he living?
I guess he had his own place. Like I'm saying, there is like you can find all the information about his crimes, but
Yeah.
about him personally, it is so hard to try to find information about this dude. It's ridiculous. But he's a weird looking guy.
I don't know. I'm gonna see him.
Like, he looks like a thumb. He's got like a big old neck. He looks like a thumb. And if you agree with me, give this video a thumbs up. Okay. Anyways, he actually received seven death sentences.
Oh wow.
So he was going to be sentenced to death. But I heard your stomach. It's a lot of noises going on.
I'm making noises
You
today.
are. So he received 7 death penalties, and
Wow.
apparently his sister kind of was like against it. Like, there was a big anti-death ally people that were all like, no. And apparently his sister said that he was mentally not capable of the death and everything. Like, he said he had mental issues and mental health issues. I don't think that's what it is. I just think that he just didn't have the educational, like, his brain could have, like, his education thing could have been stopped at, I don't know when he dropped out of school. So, I mean, like, if he made it to 6th grade, he's only got a 6th grade brain plus learning disability. He really didn't catch on to that stuff. So
Yeah, but like people with learning disabilities, this one, don't kill people.
that you know of.
They don't. They don't rob and kill. It's like I'm going back to what we've said before in our other videos. If you do something like that, you have something mentally wrong with you, and you don't need to be on the street.
No.
End of story.
But it just seems like nobody really cared about him. Here's my thing. His sister's trying to stick up for him in court and be like, oh,
why didn't she try to help him before?
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's like they want to show up when they want to show up. It's like,
Yeah.
get out of my face.
Like, why didn't she show up and try to take care of him and,
live
put him
with,
on a right path or something when he was
for real.
younger? Like, yeah.
So they try, like, apparently every time his execution date came up, it always got stalled. It always, like, something, like, whatever. So he never actually got, I got a burp, I'm so sorry. He never actually got put to death. He actually died in Nashville General Hospital on November 1st, 2013. The cause of his death was complication of pneumonia, heart failure, and upper respiratory issues. So he died in the hospital. So he never made it. He was on death row, but he never, like I said, every time that it would come up,
It was like solid every time.
Yeah, it was like a month, like to the date, like next month.
What do they call that? A stay of execution.
Yeah, it was called a stay. And so, I mean, every time it would be like, okay, well now it's going to be on this date now. And then it'd be like a month right before, and then it would get stalled. So it just kept stalling until he finally actually just died of his own medical complications.
Okay. You can agree with me or disagree. That's what makes the world go round, I reckon. But he's on death row. He's done all these things. So he gets sick. They take him to the hospital. He's got pneumonia, whatever. Do you think that, like, the police, the hospital, like, it's kind of like, okay, well, he's on death row anyway, so let's not really help him get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's act like we're giving him antibiotics, but really just give him saline. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You wonder sometimes if they're like, we'll just let this one go.
Let this one go.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would
I don't
do
know.
that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It makes you wonder though, because it's like, okay, he died from pneumonia and upper respiratory, and you know, like people get that all the time, and they go to the hospital and they're fine. So it's like,
Yeah.
did they just let him die? Like,
Who knows with this guy, but
yeah.
I don't understand why it kills me. Like, these people get put on death row because they deserve to be on there. Now, I have to say that there are some people out there in the world, it's a very small percentage, that are in jail or on death row that do not deserve to be on there because they have been falsely accused of something.
Yeah.
There has
been
been
people on death row that have not done what they were accused of doing.
Yeah. But it's like, but there's people that are, and they always keep getting stalled with it. I'm like, why even have it? If you're going to have some bullcrap excuse of why you can't, no.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said, like, you know, if you know, like, I mean, like Kaylor was saying, yeah, there's people that, you know, have been falsely accused of things, and each thing needs to be, you know, researched on its own or whatever. But like, if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that person did what they were accused of doing, there's video, there's pictures, there's DNA, there's, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, why are you waiting?
Yeah.
Why are you waiting?
For real.
Like, what's the point of holding them on death row for 10 years when you know they did that? Like, I've never understood that. Like, if you're going to give them death, then give them death.
Yeah.
You know?
And I also believe...
And a lot of people disagree with that, because a lot of people don't believe in the death penalty. And that's fine. Like I've said before, whatever floats your boat. But, like, if that's what you get, and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, then... You know...
I think also is like the Edmund Kemper guy you did your video on last week. I think that, you know, if you get whatever you get put in jail for, he was for all of his if you go back and watch that video to know what he did to his victims.
Yeah.
I believe, this is my own opinion, take it with a grain of salt, whatever, people out there agree with me. Whatever you get convicted for and you get put to death for, you should die the way you killed people.
I mean,
an eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye. Yeah.
I believe that. Like,
especially them pedophiles.
That's what I'm screaming for them pedos. You should be able to, yeah, get it done to you. See how you like it. Creep.
Yep.
Oh, that gets my fire boiling about those kind of people.
Yep.
But I think that. But yeah, that was the fast food killer guy.
The fast food killer guy.
Fast food killer guy. Honestly thought that he worked at a fast food place and he was poisoning the food. I don't know.
I mean, just robbing people and killing people for no good reason.
For no, like, just robbing. Just going in to take money. I don't think I've ever have seen.
That's just classic case of POS.
Yeah. I don't know if he did finally. I don't know, like, if it was just his lack of education.
Yeah.
Like, everything like that, and just not having that somebody, a family, a life, pretty much. Just led him to that. I mean, it's like, okay, you're not making enough money at Shoney's, find you another job. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other reasons and everything you could do better, but who's us to speak?
People choose not to, I guess.
Nope, they just choose to rob and kill and murder and stab and slash.
That's awful. Those poor kids that just working. They're just at work.
Like, who would thought that going to work is dangerous?
I know.
I mean, there are dangerous jobs out there, but it's like, it shouldn't be dangerous working at a Captain D's, a Baskin Robbins, or a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's crazy. You just don't know what people are going to do.
No. You never know.
Nope.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Subscribe, please. Please, please.
It's not that hard. You just go like this. Click. Oh my gosh, broke a sweat.
Yep. Subscribe. Hit that like button. And don't forget, we're on Spotify too. If you just want to listen to the audio in your car
to us,
you can totally do that.
And then you just roll up to the McDonald's with us playing.
the drive-through.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I listen to murder podcasts all the time.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
But anyways,
Anywho,
we ramble quite a bit. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on our next one.
Bye bye.